Welcome to Uniquely Civil War, a production of the George Tyler Moore Center for the Study of the Civil War at Shepherd University.
Hi, welcome to Uniquely Civil War. I'm Dennis Frye. There's many things known about the Battle of Gettysburg. Many. There's more books written about the Battle of Gettysburg than any other battle of the Civil War. But we still are able to make new discoveries, new finds associated with Gettysburg. And that's what Uniquely Civil War is about today. You've met Richard before. He was on one of our previous episodes with the Heb King from the Antietam battlefield. Well, today we're talking about Gettysburg, and specifically Little Round Top, but not the fight at Gettysburg. Richard is a metal detector, and Richard began hunting in Washington County in the 1960s and early 1970s, long before most others began that hobby. Now, he found a lot of interesting things, and today, specifically, Uniquely Civil War is dealing with an object he discovered. Tell me about what you found.
Well, Denny, it was a silver badge, or shield badge made out of solid silver. You can probably cover it with a postage stamp. When I first dug it up, I thought it was a piece of shredded metal, maybe from a bush hog. Until I opened it up, it's actually folded in the shape of a triangle.
While you were metal detecting, Richard, you found a identification tag. Now, that's pretty rare because during the Civil War, soldiers didn't wear dog tags. That wasn't standard issue. They typically had to buy them from a sutler or get them somewhere and would carry them with them. But who did this tag belong to?
This tag was actually inscribed Sergeant C.H. Willett. I never heard that name before. It was considered what the C stood for.
The first name is Consider? Consider.
Yeah, just like it's in the dictionary.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone named Consider.
Consider Heath Willett, Company E, 44th New York Regiment.
And he did something really unusual at Gettysburg. Before he arrived at Lappin's Jones's Crossroads, before the retreat and the Union pursuit, he's fighting at Little Round Top, and something very unusual happens there. Tell us about that.
Well, it's recorded in the 44th New York Regimental History. It's actually recorded, it's 2 or 3 pages, where the Union Army was controlling the top of Little Round Top, 44th New York included. At the base was most of the Texas troops storming up Texas and Arkansas. These men were out of ammunition. They hadn't eaten for days. A lot of them were barefooted. They were getting shot in the back, friendly fire, their own men. And Captain Rice of the 44th New York said, I need volunteers to round these men up, get them out of harm's way.
Round the Confederates up.
Yeah, these were Confederate soldiers he's talking about, with compassion. They're getting killed needlessly. And it says in the regimental, the first one to vault the stone breastwork was Captain Willett. He goes down amongst them with a gun that may not even be loaded, we don't know, one shot at best. And he talks to them, he says, men, if you follow me, he said, I'll save you. He said, you'll become my prisoners, but I will save you from this mess. So they were working around these large boulders and up over the summit, the Little Round Top. And there were 3 eyewitnesses to this. He captured 97 Confederate soldiers. He's actually saved their life, where he wouldn't have had to. He volunteered to save their lives.
97 Confederate soldiers captured by one man.
One man. And it's in the regimental history.
Did he receive the Medal of Honor?
No, he didn't. As one of my projects, I never got around to it, mostly due to the time it would take. But it's not impossible for some senator or someone to pick up on this story. Hopefully, he could still receive the Medal of Honor today yet. And if that doesn't deserve the Medal of Honor, I don't know what does.
So you discovered this artifact, and it's pretty unusual to find ID tags, isn't it?
Yes, they're extremely rare. And it's like you pointed out, these were bought from a sutler. There was no such thing as they called dog tags back then. They purchased it out of their own pocket money. You could buy two for $a quarter. And the sutler was more like a jeweler. He could inscribe on there whatever you asked to put on that piece of, it was brass, gold plated originally.
But the one you found was silver.
The one I found was silver. And like I said, it was folded in the shape of a triangle. I thought it was a piece of beer can or something, scrap, and I was about to throw it away. Fortunately, the sun was coming in on my shoulder, and I could look back in the folded section. I saw Company E. When it hit me, this could be Civil War, and it's the prize of my collection.
And you have quite a collection. Now tell me a moment about Willett's post-war career. He survives the Civil War. He becomes a lawyer, moves to Chicago, and he does something pretty unique in Chicago.
Yeah, he moved to Chicago, and he was one of the first to start a committee to restore Chicago after the Great Chicago Fire. He had 2 sons and 5 daughters. My research led me to Chicago almost to a dead end. I knew he had 8 children, 7 or 8 children. So I kind of gave up on it. I got a phone call one day from Mr. Ed Lane, whose father started the Lane Cedar Chest Company. He had read my story. And he said, Richard, as soon as I read that name, Consider, he said, remind me 40 years ago, I bought a solid cherry dining room outfit. On the back of the hutch is inscribed, manufactured by the Consider H. Willett Furniture Company, Louisville, Kentucky. This Consider Willett was the youngest son of Captain Willett, whose ID badge I found. Then through that information and telephone book, I was fortunate to contact 2 of Captain Willett's daughters, not granddaughters, daughters. They were both in their 90s. They both have passed away since. And they sent me photographs and information I could never got out of an archives or anyplace else.
The smallest object hidden in the dirt in a farm field, lost for several generations, discovered by a machine, but more importantly, discovered by a dedicated and passionate lover of history. The Willett ID, uniquely Civil War.